It's 104. Happy Thursday, Nasties. How you doing out there? If you're driving out there, it's a little slick, but it seems like it's improving as the day goes on. Welcome to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubish, Hernan Salas with you for the next couple of hours, and lots to get to. Lots going on in the sports world. The Edmonton Oilers coming off a win in Minnesota. That's back-to-backs in Mini, something they haven't done in a very, very, very long time. And then we just got to turn around and forget about that game as they're in Denver to take on the Avs tonight, 7:30, 6:30 Oil Stream pregame show. The Edmonton Elks, well, the CFL have released their schedules. We'll get to that as well. Coming up on the show, 140, the Red Light District with our guy, Joaquin Gage. Highlights, lowlights coming up either in this one or the next segment. It depends on how long we talk about the game from last night. And at 2:20, Evan Rawal will join us. He's the Avalanche beat writer for the Denver Gazette. He'll join us at 2:20 as we'll get a good idea on this Avs team. The Oilers beat him the first time out 4-1 in Colorado. It was a really impressive win for the Edmonton Oilers. So a fun show on tap. Like always, hit us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, or hit us up on the Nasty Chat if you'd like to watch us. EST YouTube channel. Hit that thumbs up. And if you're listening, it's the iHeart, in the TuneIn radio apps, and Edmonton Sports Talk.com. Gager, how you doing, my man?
I'm fine, buddy. How's your day going so far?
So far, so good. I beat Trev at NHL 94. It was a nice 5-3 win with led by Patty LaFontaine and the Buffalo Sabres. Well, Gilney's so good in that game.
Dominator in net there?
So they have three goalies. They have Grant Fuhrer. I can't remember who the backup is, and Dominic Hasek's the third on that team.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Furzy there, so...
You used Furzy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was great.
All right.
And YouTube was the LA Kings with Wayne and Tomas Sandstrom.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wayne's pretty good in that.
So is Tomas Sandstrom.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I played against Sandstrom in when he was playing for his home country, Sweden, at the Sweden hockey games.
He's a good player.
Or did I? No, I didn't play against them. I was on the bench in that game. But it was cool to see Sandstrom with the Tre Corona on his jersey, wearing the C. He was a big dude, man. Yeah, he's huge.
Good player, man. Good player. A lot of Oilers on that team. But anyways, no one wants to hear about our arcade games here. No, they don't, Gager. They don't. We're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the west side of the city. Like I said, hammer that thumbs up. Gager, we're going to get to it, but I mean, a win in Minnesota is always a positive for me, even though there's some ups and downs in that game last night. What did you overall make of the Oilers' performance? Down early, but were able to find their way back pretty quick in this one. Yeah,
it looked like a game that they didn't have their best stuff, you know, and that's going to happen. But it was funny because I thought both teams were kind of angry. You know, there was some definite animosity on the ice last night where there was liberties being taken, and I like that. I think at this time of the year you're getting, you know, the January
a little more feisty.
Yeah, you're going, okay, how many more games do we get to when it really matters here? And I like the response from the Edmonton Oilers. You know, I think over the last few weeks, a lot of people have been concerned at the end of the night when they look at the stats page and see the amount of hits that the Oilers are giving. But again, they're not getting run out of the rink. No. And when it came down to the kind of the dirty stuff, they were just as eager to jump in the mud with the Minnesota Wild and play that style of game. And I think from the morning show, Gazdic was saying the maturity of this team. That's part of it. It's just, look, we're not going to get bullied around by a team, and if they want to play that way, sure, Let's play that way. You go after one of our guys. We're gonna do something to one of your guys. I think that's the best way to police that, because the game has changed so much. You can't just grab a guy and settle things that way. I do like the fact that, if you're gonna be stupid, there's gonna be a price to pay. So I liked it, and just the skill level of the Edmonton Oilers taking over by the end of the game it was good, and what you need in times, especially throughout, I would say from now until the end of February here, it's the dog days of the NHL for players. You've played a lot. You're just at points. You're trying to get to game 83.
Yeah.
You got to rely on your goaltender. And Calvin Pickard, although Connor, I believe, was first star last night, Calvin Pickard was the best player on the ice.
He was excellent, especially in the second period onward. He was the reason won that game, because the Oilers were a little bit sloppy in their own end. They gave up a lot of good looks. Gager, that Matt Boldy, I think he played over 25 minutes. He was all over the Oilers.
He's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. So I thought the Oilers, the bounce back was good. It just shows you how much skill this team has, because even when they're not at their best, they're able to come back. The power play got them back, and their PK a little bit sloppy, gave up 2 goals. I thought, when they went down to nothing, Knobloch went nuclear. Didn't look back. But I liked Nuge with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. I thought they had a good game. I thought the third line struggled a bit. Corey Perry saw a few shifts with Connor and Leon as well. Noah Philp, not much. You didn't really notice him, which is maybe a good thing for his first game. Won a few faceoffs and didn't look out of place, but I don't think there's much we can break down, because he only played 8 minutes, Gager, on the night.
I kind of zeroed in on one of his shift last night. Pucks in the offensive zone. He's all over it. 2 big hits. Gets around the ice quite well, too.
Yeah, he does.
And he's a big body, so taking up space. I think that's good. I liked what I saw, although it was limited from his game. He looks like he's on the right path.
Connor McDavid with an absolutely brilliant goal. In highlights, lowlights, we're going to get to a couple saves from Pickard, which are outstanding. And we're going to get to one goal against Gager. And it was interesting because Belzy was sitting here, and he picked apart their face-off setup. And then it was funny because then they go into the intermission, and the panel did the same thing. So I want to get your thoughts on how the Oilers lined up there and why that goal happened. That's coming up in the second segment. What did you like? McDavid's second goal was just unreal. Like, the guy just, always amazes us with stuff like that. But his chicken wing, Marcus Johansson, didn't come back, Gager. I don't think it was that hard. No, maybe we're a little bit biased because we're in Edmonton, but
yeah, it didn't seem like it warranted to miss the rest of the game.
No.
I mean, you
never
what though?
Know, right?
You never know. And from my understanding, what is it like? 2.5 pounds per square inch of pressure on the chin will knock you out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take much to really do it. And especially you talk to boxers, what do they say? The one that knocks you out is the one you don't see.
Yeah.
So you're completely unprepared for it. So at first I'm like, come on, man. But then I'm like, okay, well, if he didn't see it coming, wasn't expecting it, and really Connor catches him right on the button.
Yeah.
And so, I get it. It's a penalty, but it was, I think, because some guys were acting stupid.
They were pissed after the game.
Well, fine, but don't be an idiot during the game.
Yeah.
Like Hartman, stop. Like it's ridiculous.
Here it is.
Yeah,
and now for me, there's embellishment there for sure.
Well, of course there is, and I think he wasn't expecting it, but. You don't, usually when you get hit on the button, you don't fall backwards, you go forwards. That's usually how you get, and the arms flailing up in the in the air. I don't know, maybe there was something on TV later that he needed to get to or something. But look, it is a penalty. Okay, I'm not gonna not say that, but it does look a little bit like embellishment because you don't do that with your hands. If you do, get just again right on the button.
The weakest chin in the NHL goes to Marcus
Punch
Johnson.
Out. If you ever play Punch Out, there's a Glass Joe.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that was it. He had to go do his Punch Out.
Because Middleton's like, that was dirty. If that was Hartman or Foligno, like, you know what would happen? I don't care if he's the best player.
What would happen?
Maybe a suspension. I don't know.
Oh, geez.
Like, and it's already been reported. There's no fine or suspension coming to Connor McDavid, right?
Perfect.
And I saw Biz Nasty interviewing him after the game, and he goes, "Yeah, you got the Gordie Howe hat trick, a goal and assist, and a chicken wing." And Connor was not impressed.
Oh, really?
He was like, "No, I didn't mean to do it." You know how that is.
Well, you look at Connor, and he's kind of. I don't think he's protecting himself too. Like he's just, is this guy? Whatever. It's all good.
It's it was pretty funny. Do you have the other one there? The Hartman kick trip, whatever you want to call it. So check this one out, Gager. Give me your thoughts.
Anytime there's kicking,
look at that.
Like, come on, it's you're using your leg to knock a guy down, and then the interference. Like, yeah, that's dangerous,
dirty,
man. That's so dangerous. That's where, especially the back of the leg, kicking someone with a blade on the bottom of your foot is it's really bad, because usually sometimes if that happens, Leon vices his socks down, but you've look at Hartman's skate there, see how the back is open?
Open, yeah.
So you have no control, and sometimes you go in there and you try to get your legs underneath the other guy or what have you, but you lift your foot up off the ice in that scenario, it can slip down to the back of the guy's skate and have serious repercussions of cutting like your Achilles. Like it happened to Dean McCammond one time. I think he went into the corner with like a Matt Cook or something, and Cook lifted his leg, to get up, and as he put his foot down, it went right into the back of his skate and sliced Dino's Achilles. So that's you can't do stuff like that. The injuries that are caused, the lacerations to the backs of the legs, especially like that, very, very dangerous play.
Yeah, and the ref's right there. And listen, I'm all good for letting things go if it's a feisty game and but that's dirty.
It happens quick. You got to realize that. Yeah. But I mean, if anyone's getting if I'm looking at both of those two plays, who am I giving the suspension to? It's Hartman.
Yeah. So Daniel says that was Cook and Carlson.
Oh, Carlson.
Yeah.
Dean had his Achilles got sliced too. Yeah, but you're right. It was Carlson. Yeah.
Because remember, everybody was like, Matt Cook did that on purpose. And who knows? Yeah. I mean, we'd have to watch it again.
You don't. Yeah. I played with Matt Cook. Great player. Great guy.
Yeah.
He could hit like a truck, though. And he tried to hit guys in the head, but whatever.
Let's see here. Leon's body language says, boys, that's a huge sell. Come on. No, I agree. I think he did sell it. I don't think there's much to it, but he didn't return to the game, Gager. I don't think he's sitting there saying, let's sit out, see if he can get a suspension. Like, he was hurt, so there's obviously something to it. V-Power says he's the real world's Glass Joe. And then Lars said nobody had anything to say about that in the mini room, did they? Yeah, of course not, but they were pretty fired up about the Connor McDavid chicken wing. Now, I want to get to this, and a lot of our nasties brought up good points yesterday. Josh Brown had more ice time than Emberson, but it was by like 40 seconds. Mm. They both played 17 minutes. They have a big game tonight against Colorado as well. So maybe it's like, and who knows what was wrong with Echo. Maybe he was ill, Gager. And they're like, we're going to play you guys more so we don't have to stress these guys with those heavy minutes. We want everybody fresh for tomorrow. But listen, Josh Brown got an assist. He made a few good little plays out of the zone. But overall, and I was focusing in on him. He played a regular shift with Darnell Nurse, Gager. To me, he seemed overwhelmed at times. Like it was too much for him. Yeah.
I don't know if it was. Did I think he was overwhelmed?
Maybe that's not the right word. But a lot of the times, Gager, he was he didn't know where to go and what to do. And
I think. I thought he was okay.
Yeah.
But I think what happened with him, and the panel discussed it too. Louis went into it really well because he knows what type of situation that Brown's put in, right? He's a big physical presence. If something goes nuts or something he doesn't like, he's kind of he's wearing the badge out there. He's the sheriff. And it didn't work out the first time, right? So, and it wasn't great because he took a penalty. The Oilers had a great scoring chance. Like, I don't know who had it right at the top of the slot but Brown took that roughing penalty, and then the Minnesota Wild go and score. Yeah. I like the fact that he was put right back out there, but I think at that point he's like, oh my gosh, it's such a fine line where I have to play the rest of this game because I can't take any other penalties. I'm a physical guy. That's my game. I still have to be physical. So I was like, wow, he's really riding the line here. And yeah, the speed of the game looked like it was a little bit overwhelming, but I also equate that to just not being able to play loose because of that penalty and because of the ending result of the Minnesota Wild scoring a goal.
No, that's a good point. And a bad penalty, Gager. And I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to, impress the teammates, the coaches, and because that's probably his best attribute is being physical and dropping the mitts. I understand that, but there's certain plays where he was just Darnell Nurse gets some tough matchups, Gager, and I don't think Josh Brown was maybe used to going up against the other team's second line. And I just thought, again, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. I'm just saying that at times I saw him kind of, like in front of the net, like, where do I go? And like he was kind of reacting a little bit late.
That could be just, playing with new defensive partners too. We talk about how, the way that Darnell Nurse and Kulak kind of meshed together, it was perfect. Like it was seamless. You know? And sometimes when you play with a new guy, you don't know where they're about to go. So he was. It looked like he just hadn't played with certain personnel yet, for a long period of time.
I think Stetcher has to draw in today against this Colorado team that's high flying, especially that first line. I don't think Josh Brown can be your top 4 defenseman tonight.
No, you need a little bit more mobility, especially when the Avs get. This is throughout their whole lineup. They're a quick team, right? Yeah. And I think he would be targeted for sure. And Stetcher he can defend a little bit better with his feet than Josh Brown can.
Yeah, no, for sure. RCN says, Hernan, if that was Hartman on 97, you'd feel way differently. But how am I feeling different? I'm just saying, I think he caught him. I don't think it was intentional. Obviously, he was hurt as he didn't return, but I don't think it's a fine or a suspension.
Yeah, I could see a fine.
They've already said no fine.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's dangerous. I see that.
Like if it's Hartman, it's a repeat offender.
Yeah.
It's easier to be like, oh, did he do that on purpose?
What was McDavid suspended?
Got suspended.
Yeah. For, what was it for, though?
An elbow.
Well, it was an elbow, wasn't it? Yeah. So, dirty player.
Mex Bezuza says they teach that leg sweep in Cobra Kai. Yeah,
I know. He's that's what I was going to say. Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg. Keep the messages coming to the Nasty Chat and the River Cree inbox at 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Canadian musician Alan Doyle and comedian Ben Bankas coming to the River Cree in January. For details on tickets, visit www.rivercreeresort.com. Coming up next, we'll continue the Oilers conversation with some highlights, lowlights, and we'll also get into the Elks 2025 schedule. The opening game, Gager, it's a beauty. Keep the thumbs up coming. We're back after the break. Here's Coop with your sports update.
Games in the NHL sees Edmonton on a back-to-back in Colorado for the second of 3 straight road games. And you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. That one goes live at 6:30 right here on EST. And around the league, Seattle visits Winnipeg. The Canadiens play the Stars, and the Devils meet the Leafs, seeing John Tavares listed as week-to-week due to a lower body injury, while Tristan Jarry has cleared waivers from Pittsburgh. And the 2025 CFL schedule has been released, with the Elks opening their season June 7th on the road in BC, having their first home game against the Alouettes June 19th. Out east, the Argos have extended linebacker Cameron Judge through 2026. And in baseball, longtime Brewers announcer Bob Uecker has passed away at the age of 90. On the court, the Thunder and Cavs throw it down. Rockets take on the Kings, and the Pacers go at it with the Pistons on a 5-game slate. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 93. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Get it all there. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc. EST Afternoons returns on the other side of this break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
It's 1:25. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Hernan Salas, Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubish in the house. Coming up at 3, Reed Wilkins and Jay Milne will take you right up until 6. And then at 6:30, Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, and myself will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show as the Oilers are in Colorado to take on the Avalanche. Should be an excellent game. Tommy's going to be live from Westgate BP's Gager.
Great spot.
And I think it's all month. You can make your own pasta, or no, it's Pasta Tuesday. Yeah. So it's going to be great. I know a lot of Nazis are going down. I think YouTube Trev's heading down as well, Gager. So it's going to be a fun night.
No napkins, I guess.
What? Can you fill me in on this? What's going on?
I turned it off.
So I was intently listening during I Got Beef during the morning segment, and it turns out that Trev, he has a certain process when he eats food, and I find it respectable in the fact that now, instead of, say you're eating a burger, right? He doesn't eat it with two hands because he wants one clean to do something else, like put salt on and whatever, and he had beef with salt shakers for some reason because he didn't want to go wash his hands, and because he had the grinders and it didn't work properly, but what I've learned, he doesn't like to use napkins. He's never used napkins before. He used to get in trouble from his parents, apparently, that he wouldn't use napkins to clean his hands. But why not use napkins?
So how does he clean his hands?
He goes to wash them after, but he has one hand that's dirty, so one just gets ultra filthy. And like, say you're eating a donair with the sauce and whatever, I respect it, but sometimes you got to wipe it down. Like, I don't know how he's never used a napkin before. I don't think I've ever seen him use a tissue before. It's it's odd.
It is odd. The kid's an onion. You keep pulling back these layers, and they all stink. And it's unbelievable. Like
man.
So when you go to BP's today to see Trev, don't shake his hand because he's probably using the funky one.
Yeah,
you might get a bunch of sauce.
Just
all
give
over.
him
he
one
likes
of these.
his hands clean.
Give him one of these.
So he keeps them clean, but when he's not eating,
but he said he would go to the bathroom. He has to go to the bathroom and wash his hands to clean it, right? He doesn't use the. So
as
he's
you should
got
after you eat a meal.
This soppy, gross hand there that's got the burger sauce on it and juice. Then someone comes up and says hi.
Then he has his free hand. That's clean.
That's probably why his handshakes are so weird.
Oh,
you know, because he's got crap all over his hand. He feels bad, and then he gives you that greasy, wet fish handshake.
Just if you shake his hand, make sure you have some hand sanitizer after.
Or I don't know. Just say hi and walk past.
Give him one of these. Just a fist bump. All right, let's get to lowlights and highlights. I want to start with the low line. We're going to end on a high note because the Oilers did win the game. But Gager, don't play it yet. So this is the third goal, the Hartman goal right off the face-off. And Belzy and the panel didn't like the setup. It's obvious it was a set play. McDavid doesn't win the face-off cleanly, but it leads to Hartman and Ekholm's late. But I want to get your thoughts on the setup from the face-off. You can roll it here. It's going to freeze after this here. It's just quick there. Boom, Hartman beats Hyman to the puck. Pickard makes the first save. Can't get the second one. But right here, they didn't like the setup. What are you seeing on this setup?
Well, you want the board side winger to hold up the guy because usually that guy's coming to the net. McDavid takes his guy. It's Leon, right? Jumping through there. I'd like to see the D. Who is that?
No, because Bouchard's on the boards.
Oh, who's the other winger on the other side there? I'd like to see him tighter on the just in case, right? Hyman. Everyone's jumping, right?
Yeah.
As a goalie, I understand jumping and what you're usually going to do, but I think there's something to just pausing for a sec to see where the puck goes, right? Mm-hmm. So everyone's anticipating the puck's going back
to Ekholm. Yeah.
And so they're just all jumping and not realizing it, right? So, and right there, you got to make sure that guy just can't come straight to the net too.
Yeah.
Usually he's going in and battling, and maybe that's why, but the puck comes right to Hartman. Good play by Hartman just to get a stick on it because it catches Pickard off guard, right? And then there's something loose. But yeah, I'd like to see Hyman tighter up on Leon there, right? And just so if he's jumping and if the puck comes there, he's ready to grab it.
Because it's a set play. They want a clean face-off win back to Ekholm, and the guys are taking off.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a play. Now, the interesting part is McDavid wins the face-off, but doesn't win it cleanly, and he kind of slaps it right in front of his own net.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's somewhat of a broken play, but again, good anticipation by Hartman. That's what I thought. I mean, that sucks for a goalie too because you make a pretty good save.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't get that second opportunity.
That's fair enough. C-Run says, ugly Ekholm should have been closer to the goalie. He should be able to beat their team to the corner. Again, they're working on a set play, it seems.
He's obviously, maybe Connor's just snapping him back, it seems like. So he's like, I'm just standing here. Yeah. It's coming right to me.
All right, let's get to, you're going to enjoy this. Calvin Pickard, he let 3 goals in on the night. Sure, you'd probably want one of those back. But after he was awesome in the second period. He was awesome in the third. So the saves we're going to see here, Gager, is the 1 on 2 on 0 and 1 on the third on Marco Rossi right in front. You can let it roll, Zach. Just fantastic. Like, look at this save. It's a 2 on 0, so shame on the Oilers for a horrible change, but what a save.
Yeah, and poor. I'm not going to take anything away from the save because even I think it was Joel Eriksson that shot the puck. But he got good wood and got it off the ice. But you got to move that puck now. They waited too far. And Pickard, you got to give it to Pickard on this one because he's in perfect position at the top of the crease. And a guy looks, do I shoot this? No. Oh, and before you know it, he just waited way too long. Way too long before he made that pass, and that the distance that Pickard had to travel is a lot easier. But great blocker save, man, unreal. And I think this one's even better.
Yeah.
Like this tracking to get back and watch that puck. That's just a fantastic save right from the slot, and he just gets the toe on it. Awesome, great goaltending, man.
Oh, great. And I might take some heat for this, but for me, he's becoming one of the better backups in the league, man. The numbers prove it. Yeah. He's going to have off games. Every goalie does. But he's been outstanding. And I know Koob has the McDavid goal, and we'll just show this for you know what they say?
For the fans?
For the fans, and it's just a fantastic goal. I mean, he's brilliant. You're like, damn it, Connor, you ran out of room. No, you didn't.
I know. See, this is kind of what you...
a former Pred, turns it over.
We're good.
Here we go.
So, again, he can't make the pass here. That's where you'd want to do it, and he just holds on to it. And then,
just brilliant.
But this is where the quantum computing of McDavid pops in, right? Yeah. Most guys test out the durability of that Minnesota Wild logo at that point and just bury it right into the goalie's navel. He is able to go, okay, those are shut down. I can't do this. He slid towards me. Like, what else? I don't know who 5 is on the
Middleton.
Middleton. But you look at his reaction. Like, I couldn't have played that any better. And he's skating into the corner, right?
Yeah, he's
perfect slide. Like, took away the pass,
Yeah.
put McDavid at a horrendous angle to shoot, and still scores. Unreal.
Just brilliant. Now he's second all-time in Oilers history with points, passing Yari Curry. We were talking about that yesterday. Like, when it's all said and done, it's going to be Nuge is going to be up there for games played and probably points. McDavid, Draisaitl, like this core that we have now is going to be up there in when it's all said and done in the history books of the Edmonton Oilers, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, when it's all said and done and we're in our 70s doing this show, Manso, we'll be talking about the good old days of McDavid and Nuge.
If I'm 70 and still working, just punch me in the face because I'm hoping I'm somewhere tropical.
Maybe you need a financial planner.
All right. We'll get back to the Oilers and Avalanche, but the Elks, the CFL released their schedule. Finally, the Elks did a brilliant thing on Twitter with the blender and to reveal all their opposition, which is pretty good. Well done to, I'm pretty sure it was Richard Baggin and Brent Stevens and the great minds of the Evans there as well. Good job, everybody down there at the Elks. You knocked it out of the park. But Gager, the opening game on a Saturday, June 7th, Rourke versus Trey Ford. How crazy and how exciting is that?
It's great, man. I said it yesterday. I'm really looking forward to this new CFL schedule or the Elks next year. I want to see what they can do. I want to see a playoff game. Not only do I want to see a playoff game, I want to see a playoff game in Edmonton. I think that would be just fantastic. We're a few months away from training camp. I just what they've been doing and kind of seeing the progression, talking to players who are coming here, seeing the vision of what management wants the Edmonton Elks to be.
Yeah,
this isn't where I'll say it again, the revolving door stops. I just love that because I think with the CFL sometimes it's hard for fans to get connected with their team because of the turnover, because of the new faces and things, of especially the players, right? So if you can establish guys that are not only here during the regular season, but we've heard, we want them here in the off season. We want them doing things. I'm really looking forward to a successful CFL season.
Trey is here. The CFL posted a picture of him doing the 40-yard dash with his little daughter. It was great.
Did he win?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. He's one of the fastest guys in the league. And this is from Matt Baker, who's the media relations for the BC Lions. He says, according to the CFL Hall of Famer historian Steve Daniel, should on June 7th, if it is indeed Nathan Rourke versus Trey Ford, it would be the first all-Canadian quarterback starting matchup since August 20th, 1968.
No way.
Yeah.
Have to get special shirts made up.
Yeah, and the Elks have struggled in BC. It hasn't been good for them there, so hopefully they can start off on the right foot. They're due, man. So, Gager, they get the first game in BC, then they get a bye week. Do you like that early bye week in week 2? You don't, eh?
Why?
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'll say this: I like it because training camp is so long.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say. And I wouldn't know this unless you talked about it. You said training camp's just a grueling kind of Navy SEAL training, sounds like. So to get that first game, if you can get that win and then kind of reset, refocus, yeah, okay. I've changed my mind.
Okay. So in the first 7 weeks, they get 2 byes. So they get the second one in week 7. So this is their first 5 games. Because I remember we were talking with Matty Wanek and we're like, how are they going to start? Mm-hmm. And no one wanted to come in because we didn't know who they were playing. So they get the Lions on the road. Then they come home to take on Davis Alexander and the Alouettes. Then they go to Winnipeg. Then they're home for 2 against the Ottawa Red Blacks and BC Lions. That's a pretty tough schedule to start.
Yeah, but I think you want that, It's a good test.
I guess there's no easy game.
Is there?
Yeah.
Every team right now with the moves that everyone's made so far, everyone's going to be. It looks like everyone's going to be good. So I don't know.
So BC Lions.
They got to start better, though, man. Can't start
0-4.
Yeah.
So the season opener, June 7th, it's a Saturday, 8 o'clock start. That's going to be a fun one, Rourke versus Ford. And then their first home game, the home opener, will be June 19th. It's a Thursday, Gager, 7 p.m. against Davis, Alexander, and the Montreal Alouettes. And then just to give you a little bit more feedback on this, great job by the Elks sending this out. So they'll play 3 games against the Calgary Stampeders and BC Lions because every team has to pick 2. Well, they don't pick, but there's 2 teams you play 3 times. So they'll play the Stampeders, obviously, for the Labor Day weekend and the rematch, and then late in the season. And then the Lions, they see them in week 1 and 6, and then in week 20. So the Elks will play those 2 teams 3 times. And go to EdmontonElks.com. Just hit the schedule tab, and you can see the full schedule there. So exciting times for the Edmonton Elks as finally the CFL released its schedule. So can't wait for that one. Matty Iwanek, J Milne will have the pre and post game shows for you. Don't know from where yet, but it's going to be awesome. Can't wait for some CFL football. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And you can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Keep slamming that thumbs up. We're at 43. That's Struddy's number. We want to get to 100 once again. So if you haven't slammed that thumbs up, please do so now. Coming up next, it's your favorite segment of the week. It's the Red Light District with Joaquin Gage here on EST Afternoons. We're back after the break, but first up, here's a sports update with Zach Kubish.
The Oilers are back at it against the Avalanche as they seek 4 straight wins, and you can catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate as him and Hernan Salas tee up the game, and you can tune in as well at 6:30 right here on EST. Elsewhere, the Flames play the Blues, the Rangers battle the Hockey Club, while the Devils match up against the Leafs, seeing John Tavares out week to week with a lower body injury, while for the Penguins, Tristan Jarry has cleared waivers. And next year's CFL schedule has released, having the Elks playing their first game June 7th against the Lions, with their home opener on June 19th, hosting the Red Blacks. In Toronto, linebacker Cameron Judge has signed an extension through 2026, while on the court, the Clippers face the Trailblazers, Suns, and Wizards meet before Houston visits Sacramento. And in baseball, Hall of Fame Brewers announcer Bob Uecker has passed at the age of 90. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, and whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. Up next, it's the Red Light District here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Country Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for two at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night.
Joaquin.
You don't have to wear that dress tonight. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin. 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 144. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Text us on the River Cree box 780-218-9999. Gager, you know what I've noticed? The first 50 thumbs up always come quick.
Oh, do they?
And the final 50, it drags on a bit.
Oh, really?
It's a little bit tougher to get.
Oh,
yeah. So I've noticed that because we're at 50. We're halfway there. And we're not even into our full hour just yet. But it is time for your favorite segment of the week. It's the Red Light District with Joaquin Gage. Take it away.
All right. So last night, Calvin Pickard will put in a masterful performance, I thought, for a guy that he's the number 2 to come in and have a performance like that, where you as a goaltender that your team's just doesn't have it. Yeah. And you take it upon yourself to make sure that, and I mean, even like allowing 3 goals, sometimes you don't feel great about it, but that's a game that Calvin Pickard can walk away from. And there's no better feeling knowing that you really put your mark or put your seal of approval on a game as a goaltender. Just great. So, and I touched on this on two guys a little bit, but I believe that the Edmonton Oilers right now, through all the controversy and everyone talking about goaltending, we need this, as of, what is it? What's today? Today, the 16th of January, 2025, the Edmonton Oilers have the best goaltending tandem in the NHL. And I know people go, oh, but Joaquin, the stats, he doesn't have the save percentage, their goals against. I looked at the only stat that matters, all right? And what is the stat? The only stat that matters? Wins. And if you look at the top 25 kind of goaltenders in the league with wins, which team is the only team with both goalies in that category?
The Oilers.
Calvin Pickard is at 25. And I'm just looking.
Are you saying wins?
Wins. All right. Calvin Pickard has 11 wins.
Yeah.
He's 25th. And we have Stuart Skinner is at number 9 with 17.
Yep.
So both goalies. Everyone else, it's obviously, you look at Hellebuck, but he plays tons. And what we were saying at the beginning of the year, to get Stuart Skinner enough rest for when playoffs actually come around. Like the amount of ice time has been distributed, I think, perfectly. Part of that is to the play of Calvin Pickard, knowing that your coach can put you in there even in important games. But I think it's this distribution of ice time is great. The whole question of whether the Edmonton Oilers need a goalie anywhere else is completely absurd right now. You look at all these other guys, all these other teams. If their number one guy goes down, I think it's teams are shaking in their boots. They're going, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
The only team that I think you're not doing that is the Edmonton Oilers. If Stuart Skinner, knocking on wood, gets injured, I think Calvin Pickard, do I think he can just run with it after that? No, I don't think so, but I think he can plug the dam, so to speak, and make sure that thing doesn't crash and the city floods.
I like it, man. That's a bold statement, Gager, but I like it. You look at Calvin Pickard, 15 games started. He has 11 wins. That's an awesome winning percentage for your backup goalie.
It's unreal.
Like, it is unreal. Listen, and I know the people that don't, it's a small percentage that don't like the goaltending of this team. I understand that. But I think it comes from somewhere unrealistic where you think the Oilers goalies have to have a shutout or one goalie gains.
Yeah.
Like, that's not realistic. Like, yes, save percentage for both guys. Yes, you want it higher, and it can get higher, and both guys are playing excellent. But you made the perfect point. What matters the most if you're winning the damn game? In the playoffs, if you're in Game 7, do you care if you win 2-0 or 7-5? As long as you win the damn game.
Yeah. If you win the Stanley Cup, but your goaltender has an 89 save percentage, who cares? You know, probably not going to win the Stanley Cup with 89, but I'm just saying it. The stat that stood out to me with both these guys is wins, and that's tough for a number 2 guy. You're usually going to see like top 25 goalies. You're obviously going to get the starters for most nights, but for him to break that high into it, that's impressive, man.
C-Run says Skinner has better numbers than Bobrovsky this year. Yeah, like I listen. Early on in the season, I was I was hard on Skinner because he wasn't playing well, and I thought that was fair. But since then, both guys, and I think Calvin Pickard. We talked about it earlier in the week, Gager. I think on Monday, and I said, yeah, Pickard's last 3 games, his save percentage has been bad, but he's won 2 of those. Yeah. So I think we're just getting way too picky about what you want out of your goaltender. You want them to give you a chance to win, and they do. Stuart Skinner's last game, shutout, excellent. Yesterday, Calvin Pickard gives up 3 goals, and what did he say post game? After that 3rd goal, I said, I'm shutting her down. I'm going to give the boys a chance to win, and he did exactly that.
Yeah. And it's looking forward to tonight's game. It's going to be interesting, the goalie matchup, because Mackenzie Blackwood has been really good this year. His numbers are quite good. He's got a 919 save percentage, 2.49. So, but what have we seen from Stuart Skinner lately? Like going up against the league's best, he's won that goalie battle, I'd say.
He hasn't lost back-to-back games since October.
It's unreal.
That's 2.5 months, people. This one from Bowen says Pickard was grand fear last night. Made the saves they really needed to secure the victory. That's exactly it. And that's what I mean. And then Aiden O'Neill says, don't we also have the least expensive tandem in the league?
Kind of. If you look at percentage, actually, the only one I was kind of looking at that I thought, what is a better tandem? And it's the Rangers, right? Like to see that, and I go, okay, well, how much does it cost? And they're still around 7% of the cap, right? So that's right in the wheelhouse. That's where you want your cap to be.
What are the Oilers at?
7, I believe. The Oilers' salary cap percentage for their goaltenders is, oh geez, it's even lower. It's 4.1. Never mind.
The both guys together for the next 2 years make 3.6, Gager.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah.
3.6.
Yeah. So 4 point, and it's going to be even less percentage of the cap next year, because obviously it's going up. But yeah, these guys are. I think that probably is the lowest percentage of cap, because the Rangers were about 7, and that's good. I think around 8 is the max you can go.
I wonder who has the highest, Gager.
Well, it would probably, I would have to say, I'm going to say Florida right now. I'll just have a quick look.
Even with Spencer Knight there? What are you going to say, Coop?
Boston, maybe? Like one of those teams?
No, so the Florida's 16.5% of the cap, because Bobrovsky makes $10 million, right?
Yeah.
Spencer Knight's 4.5. That's a lot of money wrapped up in goaltenders.
Yes, that's a good one. Swayman makes 8.25, Korpisalo 3.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's interesting. I wonder who is the highest. Would it be? It wouldn't be Vancouver, because Lankinen's on the minimum. Who has the best goal? Well, the Oilers do.
I think it is. I think it is Florida. Like, yeah, you add that percentage into 4.1. What did I say?
Yeah.
It is Edmonton. It is by far it's Edmonton. So there's no.
I like Minnesota's too. This year, they're only just above 6.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's what you want, man. That's just good GMing.
Good GMing. C-Run says, does that include Jack Campbell? No.
No. He's retained salary. I'm just talking about Puckpedia. It's good. If you go onto Puckpedia, you can look for yourself, call up the teams, and it shows the percentage of each player, but how much your decor is, how much your forward group is, how much of the cap is tied up in your percentage of how much the cap is tied up in your forward group, and your goaltenders. And I mean, that's a huge discrepancy between Florida and Edmonton.
Max Pazuzu says Islanders. Good one. Sorokin makes 8.25, and Simeon Varlamov right now is at 2.75.
The Oilers are the best.
Yeah. like no, but compare the value.
Yeah. Compare that value
to what they're giving you.
Yeah. That's like going to Costco like 5 years ago, right? You get like a big, huge roast for like $8.
And now?
And now it's, you might as well just go to the butcher.
That was the Red Light District. If you'd like to partner up with the Red Light District, hit us up, Hernan or Joaquin at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We always put Matt in there as a joke, but Matty kind of is our CFO, COO, Chief Operating Officer.
Sure.
So, yeah, whatever. Anyways, great stuff, Gager. That's a really cool little segment there on Calvin Pickard, because if there's one thing here in Edmonton that we do is we sometimes take for granted what we have right in front of us. And I think, yes, you don't have the Vasilevskis and the Connor Hellebucks and all that. I understand that. But you have two really, really good goaltenders at a cheap price. And this team, and those two guys took you to Game 7.
Yeah. Well, I figured it's called the Red Light District. I better talk about goalies once in a while.
Yeah. Some sad news. Bob Uecker passed away, who's an absolute beauty. A lot of years with the Milwaukee Brewers as their broadcaster there. But I think you and I will remember him from Major League, the movies.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't watched Major League, it's great. Go watch Bob Uecker and that. I heard great stories, like stories that you can't even talk about with Bob Uecker, because he was a character too, right? Like, we lost a good one there. He made me laugh back in the day. Like I remember going to, I think, Major League 2, and I couldn't wait for the Bob Uecker stuff, right? Like
just outside.
Oh, yeah, just. But it was funny because the one character, he was like the big hitter that was with and then he got traded, but he did something before he batted, and Bob Uecker goes, "Oh, the women love it when he does that, his little shimmy shake." And then he got traded to the other team, and they play him. He goes, the people hate that thing." That's great.
Oh, he's an absolute beauty. Lucky Paul says, "Hi, you said doo-doo." I did. And when I said it, I realized I said it, and I was waiting for someone to bring it up.
I thought about it, but it was low-hanging fruit.
I like this one from John of St. Albert. He says, "You're missing 3 stickers on your laptop. Stingers, Oil Kings, and Riverhawks." You are correct. I am missing a few. MH says, "What about Washington goaltending?"
I think they're up there. I just didn't I just look at that one? I mean, Logan Thompson's shooting the lights out this year, right? Like he's ridiculous. But they're at 3%. But
how much?
3% of the cap.
Holy.
Yeah, is that correct? That's crazy. Yeah, Logan Thompson does not make a lot of money.
Wow. That is interesting. Gregor says, the type of people who think the Oilers need a goalie want to line up like this: Vasilevsky, McDavid, Draisaitl, Matthews, McKinnon, Shesterkin, Quinn Hughes, Kale McCarr. Yeah.
Those are the people when they play like the video games, they disable the GM mode, right? But so they can just put together a ridiculous team.
Mex Bezuzu says Montreal is 16.6 because they're still paying for Price.
Yeah, but he's on LTIR, so he's not.
What are the Blackhawks like? Like, I know their goaltending isn't fantastic.
Who's there? Mrazek and
Soderblom.
Soderblom.
Yeah, who has the second worst winning percentage in the NHL as a goaltender of all time?
Jesus.
Not his fault. Like
Yeah, but he's probably not making a ton of money.
No.
And then VR says, I remember Bob the most from the great TV sitcom, Mr. Belvedere. He was good in that. I remember that. And then Blair says, boys, YouTube Uker on Johnny Carson. You won't be disappointed.
Oh, really? Okay.
Anything Johnny Carson's great. So, rest in peace to an absolute legend. Like I said, if you haven't seen the movies Major League, Coop, have you seen Major League?
I have not, no.
Holy smokes.
No, I'm going to have it on my list now.
That's your homework for the weekend. I almost find part 2 a little bit better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. Wesley Snipes is awesome. Like, Willie Mays Hayes, like, and the manager. you may run like Mays, but you hit like.
I like Serrano.
Jobu with the rum. Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely great. All right, that does it for hour 1 here on EST Afternoons. We went through highlights, lowlights, red light district with Joaquin Gage on the Oilers goaltending. And give it a listen back if you missed it because it was great. We also recapped the Oilers' 5-3 win over the Wild, and we looked at the Elks 2025 schedule, Rourke versus Ford in Game 1 for the Green and Gold. That's going to be absolutely great to see on June 7th at 8 o'clock. Coming up in the second hour, we'll head to Colorado and talk some Avs, and we'll continue the hockey talk, and we're also going to talk some news about a big F1 broadcaster moving. We'll get to all that here on EST Afternoons. Keep hammering that thumbs up. We're only 35 away from 100. We got an hour to go, so it shouldn't be a problem. We're back after the break here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Thirteen games in the NHL sees Edmonton on a back-to-back in Colorado for the second of 3 straight road games. And you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. And that one goes live at 6:30 right here on EST. And around the league, Seattle visits Winnipeg. The Canadiens play the Stars and the Devils meet the Leafs, seeing John Tavares listed as week-to-week due to a lower body injury, while Tristan Jarry of the Penguins has cleared waivers. And the 2025 CFL schedule has released, with the Elks opening their season June 7th on the road in BC, having their first home game against the Alouettes June 19th. Out east, the Argos have extended linebacker Cameron Judge through 2026, and on the court, the Thunder and Cavs throw it down. Rockets take on the Kings, and the Pacers go at it with the Pistons on a 5-game slate. In baseball, longtime Brewers announcer Bob Uecker has passed at the age of 90. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update. Don't go anywhere, because hour 2 of EST Afternoon starts right now.
It's hour 2 here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, producer Zach Kubish in the house as well. Welcome back. It's Thursday. It's game day for the Edmonton Oilers. Busy week for them. 4 games this week. They'll wrap it up on Saturday, taking on the Vancouver Canucks, who take on the LA Kings tonight. And that one can get ugly as well. LA is probably feisty too. They've dropped some close ones as well as of late. But yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll be joined by Evan Rawal. He's an Avalanche writer for the Denver Gazette at 2:20, as we'll get a good idea of what's going on with the Colorado Avalanche. Always a fun game. The Oilers did beat them back in November 4-1. I think it was a Saturday night. Really good game by the Edmonton Oilers. I think it was early December. And the Elks schedule released. Go to EdmontonElks.com and you can see the full schedule there. They'll open up in BC on June 7th against the BC Lions, and then they get a bye week, and then in week 3 they'll come back with their home opener. It's a Thursday. Do I still have it here? Let me double check. Yes, I do. It's a Thursday, June 19th, and they will host Davis Alexander and the Montreal Alouettes. So lots going on. Gager, I do want to get to this. Keep hammering the thumbs up. Keep texting us at the River Cree inbox and hit us up on the Nasty Chat. But I texted you this yesterday. Will Buxton is making the move in a new role to IndyCar. He'll be joining Townsend Bell and James Hinchcliffe in the booth. What do you make of this move, man?
So if you don't know who Will Buxton is, he if you've watched the Drive to Survive series, he does a lot of the narration of it. He's talking mostly about the drivers. He's been with F1 TV, I think, for years, for a long time now. Really great. He's just, you know, those broadcasters that, I mean, if they weren't broadcasting F1, they would be at every race and talking about it anyways. Like, yeah. He's just fully immersed. You read his book. That's probably next on my list. But yeah, I the first thing I looked at, well, what was his salary? And where's this coming from? Because it does look like he is just so laser focused into F1, all the ins and outs of everything. Just him looking in the garage and stuff, you could see how excited he got just looking in there. I think it probably came down to money, but this is kind of I think IndyCar looks at the success of over the last few years with F1. You and I are both reading Adrian Newey's book that gets into IndyCar, and I mean, just reading that book has piqued my interest a little bit more into IndyCar, and I'll probably watch a lot more this season. And partly because watching Will Buxton will add a little bit more. And I like James Hinchcliffe too, Canadian guy. Yeah. I think he's great on when he and he'll have a unique perspective of IndyCar. So sad to see him leave F1, but at least he's still in motorsports, and we'll get to see him in IndyCar. It's interesting, like you said, the money's probably pretty damn good. Fox Sports nailed these guys, so I don't even know if Hinchcliffe will be doing F1 stuff too, right? So I think they got two really good guys. There's a reason why they grabbed those two. Yeah. Hinchcliffe, I think, is great the way he breaks down things and really talks about what would go through the driver's head in certain situations, and it's a really good perspective. But yeah, these guys, I think the Brinks truck backed up. When they signed that deal, it was beep, beep. 15 years ago, the Speed Channel hired Will Buxton, and then he went on to F1. He's only 43 years old, and what a career he's had, man. To cover F1 and motorsports for as long as he has at such a young age. We just also said before the show how, IndyCar, he's not going to Monaco anymore. No. Still going to some great places, but it's... the travel's probably easier, too, for him. Yeah. I mean, that jet lag. Yeah. You imagine Tommy covering F1? Oh, my God. He'd be sleeping all the time on the PJ. Yeah, like you said, no more Monaco, no more Abu Dhabi, no more Mexico City, Brazil, all those great places. But it's an interesting move, and like you said, IndyCar piqued my interest a lot. Like I'm going to tune in and see if I can get into it. They start on March 2nd, Gager.
just because of Adrian Newey's book and the way he talks about it and how similar it is. Like, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, and I you know what? I'm sure Buxton will give you that kind of how everything's done and stuff. It'll be good. We're probably not too far away from an IndyCar kind of Netflix series, I would assume. Why not?
Like, do you think Will Buxton making this move brings a casual fan to check into Indy?
No, because you got to be a psychopath like myself to have F1 TV. So, but I mean, you're going to get people going over there to probably look, see what's going on. Yeah, I don't know about the casual fan. But I think there'll be a lot of F1 TV people that might, have a gander. I am for sure.
Van Owen says, if you guys are wanting to get into IndyCar, I suggest you do a bit of reading about the split. I think John Kriovics wrote the definitive book. It outlines the framework of today's IndyCar. IndyCar has been broadcast on Sky F1 for a few years now, and I think we get it here on on TSN because I always see it.
It's on Fox, man.
Yeah,
every race is on Fox, right?
So might do some double dipping this year. F1 early in the morning, some IndyCar in the afternoon.
Just a motorsports afternoon. Jeez.
Look at us, motorsports guys.
Just motorheads.
What's happened to us? Gage, you're back to the Edmonton Oilers. So, yeah, if you missed it, Will Buxton back with the not back. He's making the move from F1 to IndyCar, so that's pretty cool. And our own Jay Milne broke this story earlier this morning. The U of A Golden Bears to announce Stevenson Bowen as their new head coach. He would be the 29th head coach in team history. He comes from the Vanier Cup winning he's from a former Vanier Cup winning quarterback and most recently the offensive coordinator with the UBC Thunderbirds. So they got their guy since Chris Morris moved on to the Elks. All right, back to the Oilers, Gager. Are Jeff Skinner, Derek Ryan, Troy Stetcher all out of the lineup? Do you anticipate all three back in today, 2 back in, 1 back in, or 0 back in?
I think we probably see Stetcher in. That's my guess. Brown out.
Okay, and you don't see any changes to the forward group?
No.
Interesting. Yeah, because we talked about it a bit last night on the postgame show as we were signing off, and you're not taking Noah Philpott.
I don't. Yeah,
you just called him up,
and he didn't look out of place, man.
No, and he's not gonna be that 20-minute guy, so it's fine. And who else are you taking out? Corey Perry's playing well.
Corey Perry is having he's a great hockey player, man.
He is.
You don't go to what is it 4 consecutive finals in a row without being a good player. Like, I know this is part of the team and stuff, but I mean he went to the finals with Montreal, not too long ago with Edmonton's best player Brent Kulak. But he's so good, so versatile, so able to his role, although not what it was in Anaheim, he's still a real effective player. And I just watched yesterday when Connor scored his first goal, came off the bench, and he sat beside Perry, and you could read lips a little bit, and he said, like, "Good job, kid." Like, that's what Perry said to Connor, right?
Yeah.
So, and look, Connor McDavid saw Corey Perry do all these magical things when he was a little kid too. Not that he's an idol or everything, but you have the elder statesman give you a tap and tell you good job. That goes somewhere on this team. Look out in Vancouver and see what a mess that is. That's the reason why a lot of these guys got brought back, I think, because not only are they proficient in their roles with the Edmonton Oilers, but they are good, really good team guys.
And it's like offensively, like in the O-zone, he's still got top 6 hands.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Like he's the goals he scored, the plays he can make behind the net, Gager, like he still has it. He's just a little bit slower.
Yeah.
That's it.
But he can still he still sees the game at a level that a lot of guys will never get to in their lives, right? Maybe the body starts slowing down.
Slowing down.
Like I said before, he wasn't overly fast to begin with. That was the biggest knock about him. being picked, I think 25th overall by the Ducks, was that I don't know if this guy will play because he won't be able to keep up.
Max Pazuzu, the Oilers, the only team that can roll out a forward line of all Hart Trophy winners, which is insane. So Chris Knobloch will speak at 6:15 our time, so we'll probably know lineup changes then. We know Stuart Skinner's going to get the start between the pipes, but
it's a big game for the Avalanche. Have you looked at the standings at all?
Yes, it's huge.
Yeah, because
I think they're coming off a win too.
Yeah, they just beat the Rangers in OT, I think. But when you look at the Central, 44 games played, Dallas 43 in third place, and Colorado's at 55 in the first wild card spot, but they're probably wanting to get, into that top 3 at least at this point. Calgary's still scrapping. Eh?
Yeah, what a division though, eh? Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Winnipeg.
Awful.
Yeah, Calgary's still hanging on, man. Vancouver, despite all the noise surrounding that team, they're right there. St. Louis, 3 points back, but I watch St. Louis.
They're going to be around there, but sniffing.
Yeah.
But they're done. It's really. I think you're just going to see St. Louis might stay around there, but that's the cutoff.
Yeah.
I think you're just going to see Utah, Anaheim, Seattle, Nashville, San Jose, Chicago kind of just fall off and start looking at draft picks and stuff. But I think it's going to be a battle. And this is, was it you that said earlier with Vancouver, just everything just went perfect.
Yeah.
It was the yellow brick road.
Last year it was
just perfect. Aside from Demko getting injured at the end, was the big hurdle that they couldn't overcome.
But even when he was out, Gager, they didn't miss a beat. Like they rolled in the first round against Nashville. They got a few breaks. They were one game away from beating the Oilers.
Yeah.
With a third string goaltender.
They were up 3-2 for crying out loud. That's
yeah.
Like you gotta that's I really think they're gonna fall apart here, man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, I think they're taking on the LA Kings tonight, and that's
JT Miller on Team USA for the Four Nations.
I think he is,
and Pettersson's on the Swedish team, right? That's going to be great if they face off against one another.
So LA's lost their last two. Vancouver's coming off a butt kicking at the hands of the Winnipeg Jets. It seems like the Winnipeg Jets are going to run away with the division. They're 5 points up now on Minnesota, even in games. Colorado, even in games as well, and they're far back. So, and the Edmonton Oilers with a win tonight will tie Vegas for first place, Gager.
Yeah, that was last week and a half ago. Was 6 points.
Yeah, and they're tied in games. So
they made hay.
They made some hay. It's gonna be interesting what happens with Vancouver and Calgary. I don't think both make it. I think one of those two makes it. But for Calgary, like let's just say, Gage, like playoffs are awesome. Like and the owner, they're getting that first round money. But again, you're not like Calgary's not gonna go to the finals. Like I don't care what anyone says. They're not. Like they're always in the middle. They can never rebuild because they don't get that top end draft pick. And it's just like spinning the wheels here, man.
I know, but what's more important? Like how?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
How? Okay, let's compare Chicago to Calgary. Okay. How far? They've got a superstar. How far are they from being competitive?
I'd say like another probably
4.
I was gonna say 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calgary, like. They could, if they hit it, they hit a good draft pick, it's not always top. The top guys don't always pan out. And they're young. Like there's a retool on the fly here with Calgary, I think. And if they can get into the playoffs, get some experience, have some of their young guys go through what it takes not only to get there, but maybe even have some success in the playoffs, I think that's way more valuable because you look at Chicago, it's going to be 4 or 5 years till they probably even sniff at the playoffs. And then that's a whole new learning curve again. While Calgary has, I'd love to see the average age of both teams right now, because I think they're way better situated with what they have. They've got the goalie. They've got some really good defensemen, although they're probably aging out by that point. And they're going to have to make some good decisions. But I wonder if, though, the play of Dustin Wolf is masking a lot of the deficiencies that you just don't see with the team. Because it happened here in Edmonton with Talbot in 17.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Jasmine says it will be Vancouver. I mean, I think Vancouver's a better team overall when they're hitting. But yeah, like last year, they were the Oilers of 2017, where nothing went right for them. I mean, both teams lost in the second round. But this year, there's a little bit more. Well, I shouldn't say a little bit. There's a lot of turmoil there regarding two of their top stars. They want to upgrade their defense. Demko's still not right. He's not.
I think he's done, man.
Yeah, he might be, Gager. He might be. Rick Tocchet looks frustrated. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be quite amazing to see what happens if they miss. If they miss it.
Did you see Phyllis? She smashed number 70. Thank you, Phyllis.
Nice. So we're 30 away. We got 40 minutes left. Let's get to 100 thumbs up here on EST as we're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios in the west side of the city. Keep sending us your takes to the River Cree inbox at 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Up next, we head to Denver to preview the Avalanche. That's coming up here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas. But first up, here's Zach with your sports update.
The Oilers are back at it against the Avalanche as they seek 4 straight wins, and you can catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola live on location at Boston Pizza as him and Hernan Salas tee up the game. You can tune in as well at 6:30 right here on EST. Elsewhere, the Flames play the Blues. The Rangers battle the Hockey Club, while the Devils match up against the Leafs, seeing John Tavares out week to week with a lower body injury, while for the Penguins, Tristan Jarry has cleared waivers. And next year's CFL schedule has released, having the Elks play their first game June 7th against the Lions, with their home opener on June 19th as they host the Alouettes. In Toronto, linebacker Cameron Judge has signed an extension through 2026, while on the court, the Clippers face the Trailblazers. Suns and Wizards meet before Houston visits Sacramento. And in baseball, Hall of Fame Brewers announcer Bob Uecker has passed at the age of 90. This sports update is brought to you by Gimme Virtual Golf. Step into a whole new golfing experience with 240 unique courses for you to play. Plus, they have a hydraulic swing plate that automatically tees the ball up for you with the innovative technology replicating real-life ball lies, moving the ball in 24 different directions. Gimme Virtual Golf, where innovation meets the game. Visit their website at gimmevirtualgolf.ca. More with Hernan and Gager on the other side of the break here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for 2 at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
This is your chance to win big with the Split the Pot Lottery. Support the Capital Care Foundation to help Alberta seniors get the care they deserve and support more healthcare foundations across the province. With a grand prize draw that grows with every ticket sold, the jackpot is hundreds of thousands and just keeps getting bigger. Visit splitthepot.ca and buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. Next jackpot is January 16th, license number 713959.
2:23. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Text us on the River Cree inbox at 780-218-9999. Just ahead of Evan Rawal, who will join us from Denver to preview the Colorado Avalanche coming off a 3-2 overtime win on Tuesday over the New York Rangers. And before that, they played last Saturday, losing 3-0 to the red hot Winnipeg Jets. That team's an absolute wagon right now. We'll see what happens in that division. It's unfortunate that one of those four teams will be out in the first round. It was unfortunate last year when Colorado beat Winnipeg. That was a crazy series because remember Winnipeg rolled them in the first game?
I know.
And then it was just all Colorado after that.
Lowry, one of the best games I've ever seen him play. He just dominated. I think he had 2 goals and shut down McKinnon. It was
he's a hell of a player.
Great player.
He's Dave Lowry's son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been weird having your dad as the coach.
Coach, yeah.
You
don't see that too often, do you?
You never see that.
Not at the pro level.
Yeah.
Well, Dion and his kid at Colorado, like college ball. Dion Sanders. Yeah.
That's weird too, though. Dion's a little odd.
Will he be the Cowboys' next coach?
Jesus.
How crazy would that be?
It would be absolutely nuts. I mean, it's par for the course with the Cowboys. You might as well.
Yeah.
Right?
It's right on brand. I mean, and it's funny because I was going to say, well, that's going to sell tickets. Well, the Cowboys always sell tickets. They don't need that.
Yeah.
They don't need the hype man or anything like that. So we're just waiting for Evan here to connect. I think we had the wrong email there, but we got it all sorted out, and I can hear them in my headphones. So
everybody can hear things in your headphones.
I think Dusty and I have issues hearing because our headphones are very, very loud compared to everybody else, and we're good to go. As Avalanche beat writer Evan Rawal from the Denver Gazette joins us here on EST Afternoons. Evan, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing excellent. Excited for the game tonight. Edmonton coming off a 5-3 win last night in Minnesota on to Colorado, where they've won one game already this season. But Evan, Avalanche coming off a 3-2 overtime win, and before that they were shut out by the Winnipeg Jets. How are the Avs playing as of late?
Well, they were on a hot streak. They're in a bit of a lull right now. They won the other night, but Jared Bednar was probably as annoyed and frustrated after the game as he has been this year after a win, especially after a win. They did not deserve to win that game. They won because Mackenzie Blackwood has done what Mackenzie Blackwood has done since he's gotten here. So I think I just saw the stat. The Avs and the Oilers are the 2 hottest teams in the league since the start of December. So should be a good one. And you know, if it's anything like these games have been the last few years, it should be highly entertaining.
So, what's the mood around Denver? I mean, these are the 2 big boys of hockey with the duos. You got Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl on the other side, McKinnon and Rantanen. Is that the kind of the storyline going into this game, especially with Nathan McKinnon leading the league in points right now?
Yeah, 4 of the top 5 scorers in the league tonight in one game, and then you got the top defenseman scorer, Cale Makar. So it's going to be a star power tonight, and yeah, the Avs. I mean, it's going to be entertaining. That's the story. The Avs are moving Mikko Rantanen into center tonight, just because Casey Middlestad's not giving them anything, so they're going to try Rantanen at center. It's their kind of break glass in case of emergency situation there, but it should be highly entertaining. That actually might make it a perfect matchup where these guys are going to go head to head on each line.
That's interesting, Evan, because here the Oilers usually start them on separate lines, but if things are not going well early, he'll go nuclear. That's what we call it here in Edmonton, the nuclear option. He did that yesterday after they went down 2-0. Will you see that in Colorado as well? Let's say they're down a goal or two. Will he make that move to put Mikko back with Nathan McKinnon?
100%.
Yeah.
We'll see it. We'll see it plenty tonight. Especially like, say the Oilers ice the puck and the Avs get an offensive zone face-off. It's going to be McKinnon, Rantanen coming out to take advantage of that. So we're going to see it plenty. Rantanen playing center might not even last a period. Who knows?
Okay.
Like this happens all the time. Like the Avs start a game and then they just, they're going to go with who's rolling. And if it's not working, then they know that Rantanen and McKinnon always work together.
Sounds very familiar.
Evan, being a former goalie, I knew when my defensemen were, let's say, a little bit on edge when I played, and knew that they probably would have had to block a few extra shots here. Now, it seemed like at the beginning of the year, the only thing that was holding the Avalanche back was goaltending. And it seemed, you just mentioned the play of Mackenzie Blackwood, top 5 in save percentage in the league right now. What has he done to the defensive structure of the team, or just the defensive core? Do you see them actually playing a little bit looser, knowing that there's someone back there now that's able to take a goal away or make up for a possible mistake by the D-core?
Definitely playing looser. The other night, maybe a little too loose. I think they gave up like 6 breakaways the other night. But yeah, I mean, at the start of the year, you could tell that they're not going to say it, but you could tell the defensemen were just like, what are we're not, it's not our fault. Like we're Georgiev and then they just weren't making saves that goalies in the NHL should make. And right now the Avs are getting saves that they should get, and they're getting saves that maybe they shouldn't get. And that's what the best goalies in the league do. And it has really changed everything. Like the entire locker room has been different since Blackwood and Wedgwood got here. It's just been a complete 180. And he's not, I mean, maybe he will. He's not going to stop 94% of the shots he faces the rest of the year. But so far he's been everything that's as advertised and more.
Evan, looking at, every time you talk about the Avs, it's Mikko, Rantanen, Nathan McKinnon, and Arturi Lehkonen quietly, well, I shouldn't say quietly, but he's having a fantastic season. He's always around. He's got 16 goals on the season. What has he meant since joining the Avs? Because, like I said, for me, he's a guy that kind of does it quietly. Not a lot of praise for him, but every time you look at the score sheet or the box score, he's on it.
What a player. Like, I always say this, but if Jared Bednar could build the perfect player, I think he might just build a team of Arturi Lehkonens. And I think a lot of coaches would, just because he's dependable. He's going to go to the dirty areas in the ice, and you can use him in literally any situation. Like, he's going to kill penalties. He's going to play on the power plays on the top unit. He's going to play on the top line. Like, he just does everything, and he's not a big guy. He takes a beating, but he's just such a smart player. Like, coaches love these types of guys, and that's why Montreal's loss. I understand that you got to give up to get, but like I think they're probably going to regret giving this guy up, because he's Nathan McKinnon's, like, he's his best line mate since he's gotten here. Like, he just does so much dirty work for McKinnon that maybe doesn't necessarily always show up on the score sheet.
It's the Finnish Hyman is what he sounds like a little bit there. Looking at the standings right now, the Edmonton Oilers were in Minnesota, a very banged up Minnesota team. We were talking before. It's so unfortunate that we could lose one of these great teams in the Central Division in the first round. Like, it's amazing. But Colorado holding down that first wild card position. How do they look at these next games, especially when you're so close, seeing a Minnesota Wild team that doesn't have their best guys in lineup? Is this a chance for them to kind of creep back up into that maybe top 2 or 3 position in the Central Division?
100%. The next 4 games, you got the Oilers tonight, and then they got the Stars, Wild, and Jets all in a row. So they got them all at home. So this is their chance. And the Wild, the Avs just faced the Wild. They're beat up. The Avs have no sympathy for that, because they've had no health this year. So Unfortunately, they're not really that healthy right now, so it's going to be a tough thing for them to kind of catch up. But this is their chance. Dallas and Minnesota, and Minnesota seems like the team that they could easily catch. Winnipeg might be a little too far, but Dallas, they're right there too. So it's still very realistic for them to get home ice in the first round.
Evan, what's the latest on Gabriel Landeskog here?
He's been at the last 4 or 5 morning skates. He does look better. It's just a matter of this has been going on for so long. It's almost wake me up, I guess, when he starts practicing with the team and starts going through these drills. Then we can start to have the talk of, he's going to come back. Because if he does come back, then the Avs got to make some room for him and then under the salary cap, and it just gets really difficult. They want him back. I think everybody would love to see the guy come back for fighting for what he's been going through. It's just been such a long road, and he does look better, and hopefully we get to that point. It's just I think we're still a ways away from that.
And last one for you here, Evan. Thank you again for taking the time to join us on game day. Looking at their roster, what's the salary cap situation in Colorado, and what will they be looking to add at the trade deadline?
Salary cap situation is very complicated and almost too complicated for me to understand, because they do the thing after every game where they'll send guys down, save a couple bucks, call them back up. And without, cap friendly, it's always tough for us to figure that out. But as for what they need, a top 9 forward, another center, really. Casey Middleset's struggling. Ross Colton has been moved to the wing. If they could find a third line center, I don't know if the Avs have the assets, but a Yanni Gourde would almost be perfect for everything they need. But I think you could say that for a lot of teams looking to maybe make a move at the deadline. And then another defenseman. Their top 4 is pretty set, but if they could find a 5th guy that could kind of move some of these depth guys down, because they've kind of just switched between all these depth defensemen. They're not in love with any of them. If they could find another guy that could fill that role, I think that would be perfect. Those are the 2 big needs.
Man, boys, it sounds very familiar to the Edmonton. It's like these teams are just looking in the mirror here. But Evan, great stuff like always. I think for you it's the same as for us here in Edmonton. It's such a pleasure to be able to watch Connor and Leon and a couple other guys on a nightly basis, and for you in Colorado to watch the great duo of Rantanen and McKinnon, and then the great Cale Makar on the back end must be just an absolute joy for you guys down there in Colorado.
Yeah, I always tell the fans, don't just take this. Don't ever take this for granted. These guys, these types of players don't come along and cherish this. You want to win Stanley Cups, but elite players are just hard to find. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, it wasn't enough enjoyment with Sakic and Forsberg.
I know.
Patrick Waugh.
I know. Maybe it does come along a little bit more with Gretzky and all those guys.
The only difference is we went through a decade of darkness here. We paid for all that late '80s success. So, Evan, great stuff. Enjoy the game tonight, and I'm sure we'll have you on again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
That's Evan Rawal from the Denver Gazette. He covers the Colorado Avalanche. And what a gauntlet of games for them, eh? Holy. Awesome. All at home. So Oilers tonight, Stars on Saturday, and then the Wild and Jets. Just absolutely.
I'm going to watch those games if I can.
Yeah. And then the Oilers are on a gauntlet of their own. They had the Kings on Monday, the Wild yesterday, the Avalanche today, the Canucks Saturday, and on Tuesday, the Capitals.
Ooh, the Caps. That'll be fun. Ovi watch. How fun will that be, man? Well, just play Skinner, because Skinner stopped him. I think it was 7 saves that were just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. Ovi should have had 4 goals that game.
Yeah, and if Colorado wants to get back into it, like you said, they have to win those games. Those are the games you have to win.
I don't know about that. I think they need to do well to get back into second, third in the Central. I think they'll stay in that wild card position, right? But if they want to get home ice in the first round, they got to make hay.
I am intrigued now that he said Rantanen and McKinnon will be split up to start the game. I think Knobloch has to go Connor and Leon on different lines to start. Just match them.
That's what you want to see. That's what everyone wants to see. But who goes up against who? Does McKinnon up against
McDavid because of the speed?
Okay, so you think it's opening draw McKinnon and McDavid?
Yes.
Okay, let's see who snaps that thing back. All right?
They'll
That's
win
the
the
telltale sign of who's going to win. If it's McKinnon and McDavid on the opening draw tonight, and McDavid doesn't at least tie, if it gets snapped back like in Pittsburgh, it's over.
It's over. You heard it here first. The River Cree Inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Keep the messages coming in to the River Cree Inbox, 780-218-9999. And also hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Up next, we'll close out the show and get you set for the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Malin here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Here's your sports update with Zach.
Games in the NHL sees Edmonton on a back-to-back in Colorado for the second of 3 straight road games. And you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. That one goes live at 6:30 right here on EST. Around the league, Seattle visits Winnipeg, Canadians play the Stars, and the Devils meet the Leafs, seeing John Tavares listed as a week-to-week due to a lower body injury, while Tristan Jarry clears waivers from Pittsburgh. In the 2025 CFL schedule has released, with the Elks opening their season June 7th on the road in BC, having their first home game against the Alouettes June 19th. Out east, the Argos have extended linebacker Cameron Judge through 2026. And on the court, the Thunder and Cavs throw it down. Rockets take on the Kings, and the Pacers go at it with the Pistons on a 5-game slate. And in baseball, longtime Brewers announcer Bob Uecker has passed at the age of 90. The final segment of EST Afternoons on this Thursday edition comes after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it. Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Last segment here on EST Afternoons. We're having a good off-mic conversation, and forgot we were back. So, welcome back to EST Afternoons. Oilers Game Day. The Reed Wilkins Show starts at 3 o'clock. They'll take you right up until 6. You'll get a nice little break from 6 to 6:30, but keep it locked on EST as the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola. He'll be live from Westgate BP's tonight. And that will get going at 6:30. He will be joined by Sean Bell and myself, so it should be a fun evening. And then the Oilers and Avalanche battle it out at 7:30. The rookie says Vegas also plays tonight, so no guarantees, but it could be a 4.9. The rookie, thank you for the text, but the Vegas Golden Knights play tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, so they are off tonight.
He must drive a DeLorean.
Yeah, he's sensing something, right? It's in the gut. And then check this out. The Canucks have lost 5 of 6. This is from Mike Kelly from the NHL, and are on pace to finish with 14 fewer wins than last season. Tonight, they face the LA Kings, the stingiest rush team in the league, which is what Vancouver used to be. So Vancouver might be in a little bit of trouble tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that's a game I'm going to keep my eye on for sure. I also wanted to ask you this, and it's regarding the Elks. It's been a bad past 3 seasons, Gager.
I could say that.
How important is it for them to get off to a good start?
You got to win the first game.
That's it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially with a bye in week 2, right?
Empty the tank.
Yeah.
Like, go in there and win the game. I don't care how. It doesn't have to be pretty. It can just be smash mouth. Maybe it's a rouge to win. I don't care. But you want to come off that field knowing just that everything that's happened all summer, all the changes, to just put that foot forward and get that win, that first win, I think is crucial. Because you lose that, it all starts, here we go again, right? End that conversation right away.
Because I think you said, I don't care how the first 5 games go, but win the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's you make a good point, because then they get a bye and then they have their home opener. So you want to go into that home opener feeling good.
Yeah, you don't want to have I don't want to say pressure. It's not, but just the confidence to string two games together right off the hop. I think that's going to reinforce all the things that have been talked about over the past few months, right? Everything's different now. That's why I think I want to see him win the first 2 games. Is that too much to ask?
No, not at all. Absolutely not. And listen, BC hasn't been kind to the Elks. It hasn't. Either is a Winnipeg Blue Bombers matchup, but you got to get over that hump. And that to me is go in there. Yes, Nathan Rourke's going to have a full training camp. He's going
to be good.
He's got a new coach. He's going to be good.
But all the other teams have good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You could say.
That's a great point. And what a test. And Trey Force should be pumped right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm going up against a guy who's a stud in 2022, was in the NFL, who's Canadian.
Who's the better Canadian?
And a lot of people are still questioning if I can be as good as him, and he should be raring to go. Man, that game's... The CFL could have not picked a better first game for the Elks, I think.
If we do become the 51st state, does that mean the CFL becomes the NFL?
Just throw them in there. Big Uke Elks going to be 3-2 after 5 games. Book it. I hope so.
I like it.
I'll take 3-2.
Yeah.
I'll take anything outside of being with the donuts. 87 thumbs up. We got about 9 minutes left. So let's hit 13 more and we get to 100. So if you missed it, the Elks open up their season in BC, 8 o'clock start on June 7th. And Rourke versus Ford. I mean, TSN's got to knock that promo out of the park.
I can't believe I haven't seen anything yet about this game.
It's written for you, man. It's truly amazing. Hell, I want to take our show to BC for the first game.
I could show you a time out there.
You think Dusty would approve that?
Sure.
That would be cool, though.
That would be cool.
Obviously, you've been to that stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great stadium. I absolutely love it. Dressing rooms are a little bit small and weird, and it's not the best, but the facility is awesome. The press box is absolutely amazing. Doc Dad says CFL schedule day. Give EST some more love. Yes. Thank you, Doc Dad. And let's smash that thumbs up. Gager, what are you thinking for tonight? Can the Oilers pick up another impressive win? It's going to be tough. Man.
Yeah, man. This is there's lots on the line for both teams, just for standings where they're going to position themselves, because these points are very difficult points to get, right?
Yeah.
A lot of teams aren't going to be getting these, especially from that building in Colorado. So it's almost like, I won't say 4-point, but it's like a 3-point game, I guess, just because it's so hard to take points from this team. And I'm looking forward to seeing some superstars. Because that's what it's going to come down to in the end. And I know it's not playoff hockey, but at certain points, the best players just raise their game to a level that just the average human cannot get to.
Is this the best matchup for you when it comes to the Oilers because of who they're facing?
Yeah, and they just have the thing that the Avalanche have that the Edmonton Oilers don't, and this is all due respect, is Cale Makar. And when you can generate that much offense from the back end, it's very difficult to defend against. And especially when he can distribute the puck to players like Rantanen and McKinnon. And now they've got goaltending. So it's there hasn't been a goaltender that's really given me any pause to, gosh, can the Oilers score against this guy? Because they score goals. They seem to be okay with scoring goals. So that's another thing I'm gonna look at and see what they look to do against Blackwood tonight.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in tough. I hope Stetcher draws back in. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Can't wait.
I'd like to see Jeff Skinner back in. He can score, but I just don't know who you're taking out. Because right now, if I go through the 12 forwards, I don't think anyone should come out.
I'd say Podkolzin scores tonight.
Oh, he scored yesterday.
No, I think he's hot.
Yeah.
I know.
Podkolzin. Oh, I like this. I'm going to pick... Who should I pick, Gager? I'm going to pick Corey Perry.
Your favorite, Stetcher.
Corey Perry.
Yeah, Corey Perry.
Corey Perry.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah. Coop, you want to pick someone to score for the Oilers tonight?
It's going to be easy one, simple one, Draisaitl.
Come on. Jeez.
I know. Sorry, guys. I'm not fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of the box pick, Kulak.
Ooh, no, that's good.
I thought you were going to say Janmark.
Yeah.
The janitor. No. I think he only has one goal this season. It's an empty netter.
Yeah, he did. He was trying really hard the other night.
Brian says Colorado has one line that plays 24 minutes a night. I got some information for you, Brian. So do the Oilers. Yeah. So we'll be like our guest said. They're going to split up McKinnon and Rantanen. I hope Knobloch does the same. But by the second period,
they're going to be together.
Both teams are going to go nuclear option.
Yeah. Well, like after penalty kills, defensive zone face-offs, maybe after icings, just certain situations, they're going to be together, right? And then that's the thing, when Knobloch does it in those types of situations and sees they got fire, how do you not keep them together?
Exactly.
Bucky the other day said it, right? Like, it's so hard when you see guys just have that much success and they're really going. How do you break up success? You know?
It's true. This day in sports history, Gager, 2006 rookie Alexander Ovechkin scores the goal in the Capitals' 6-1 win over the Coyotes. Remember that?
Yeah. Is that on Cujo?
I
think it was on Cujo, wasn't it?
So Mike Smith?
No. I don't think so.
Coop, can you look that up quickly for us? And who knew we'd be here? How many moons later, Gager? 18 years? 19 years after?
19.
And he's going to break Gretzky's record.
That's crazy.
And then 32 years ago on this day, the Edmonton Oilers acquired Brian Benning from the Flyers for Joseph Baranek and Greg Hogwood.
Oh, Benning was at the Forum Inn there. I think he was my neighbor for a while.
I think that's the former Canucks, yeah?
No, I don't think so. No. Benning, I think he sued the Oilers.
Maybe it's his brother?
I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. I know there's a connection there.
Yeah, no, I think because they wanted him to come back or something, and his knee was messed up, and then he didn't, and I think he tried to sue them. I don't know. I have to look that up.
I found the goaltender, Brian Boucher.
Sorry.
Brian Boucher. Wow, that's a great trivia question.
Yeah.
I would have never thought it was Brian Boucher.
I thought it was Cujo. I think Cujo was there at that point, wasn't he? What a crazy goal.
Oh.
I was playing I remember watching that. I was in my cabina in dressing room in German. And we were watching that on the TV. It was like, and then of course, and I'm sure this happened on every rink everywhere, guys in our practice were trying to do it. So the first drill, everyone came down and went to the corner and fell down and tried to shoot it on me from behind their back. It was our coach went nuts.
V Power says, "Is he Jim Benning's nephew?" That's it. I think
maybe.
Yeah. Sorry,
Maybe.
I totally butchered that. I apologize for that. We're 9 away from 100. If we can get that in the next 2 minutes, that would be great. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Host your team or league fundraiser at the Canadian Brew House for a chance to win $2,500 with tons of options to choose from. The Canadian Brew House can help you raise funds for your crew. Details in store or online at the CanadianBrewHouse.com. Gage, I wanted to get Matt Hyman says Nichushkin was the guy that really hurt the Jets in the playoffs. He was really good in that opening series.
He's something. Who does he play? I didn't even look at their lineup.
He's not in today.
He's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I think he's hurt.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I think that's why they're going with Rantanen, just to create a little bit more depth, right?
Because he's a moose, man.
He's great, man.
Yeah.
And,
good to see that he's got his stuff together, too.
Quickly, you guys were talking with Reed. David Lynch also passed away today.
Yeah, Reed and I were talking about movies, kind of weird movies that David Lynch did. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Dune. He hated it.
Who, Reed?
No, the David Lynch, the director, said he never even watched it after he did it because he didn't think he did it justice the way he did it, right, and stuff. So, I remember I went to the Granville Theater, stood there in line, couldn't wait to watch it.
What's your favorite David Lynch done?
I'd have to say Dune.
I'll say this. I'm looking at all his movies. I don't think I've seen any of them.
Mulholland Drive, Highway 50. He did Twin Peaks. You never watched Twin Peaks?
I never watched Twin Peaks.
That's kind of weird.
They're
all weird.
Yeah.
Really weird movies, right? You haven't watched The Elephant Man?
No.
You like awful, disturbing movies? I thought you'd love David Lynch.
I know. I'm intrigued by Eraserhead.
That's what I hadn't seen that. Reed said that was really weird.
Blue Velvet.
I mean, they're big movies.
Yeah, I haven't. First couple of seasons of Twin Peaks was must watch, says Van Owen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. What year was that? 1990. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll end on that note. Sad day. David Lynch, Bob Uecker passed away.
Yeah.
Two absolute legends. I got to tune into because I heard you guys talking about David Lynch and how much you guys loved him because Reed is a big fan as well. So I might have to check out a few of his movies as well. But it's the Oilers game day. They take on the Colorado Avalanche, 7:30. Reed and Jay are coming up next. They'll be 3 to 6. And at 6:30, it's the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola live from Westgate BP's. Go hang out with him. Always a fun time. They got tons of prizes, Gager, to give out as well. And it's going to be an absolutely fantastic hockey game as the Oilers look for another big W. For Zach Kubish, Joaquin Gage, and our guest, Evan Rawal. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the thumbs up. We'll talk tomorrow. Enjoy the game. Ciao for now.